When you say you've trained to extreme all your life, what do you mean by that?
Well, really, it's like when I was young, I used to. I'm trying to think to my earliest thing now, but I was always doing something at a high level, and I found out later on in my life why, I guess. But I was always wanting to be the best or do the best thing or the more extreme thing. I mean, I used to run for the county when I was young, doing hurdles. Don't know if you could see me in some shorts right now.
Nice bit of lycra.
Yeah, I had lime green spikes as well. So everyone used to know me for the lime green spikes.
Can't imagine you jumping over hurdles these days.
No, I'd probably run through them,
Smash them apart.
get caught on a couple and end up on the floor. But yeah, no. Do you know what though? Back then, I used to love it because it's that feeling of like that, just that buzz of like just winning. So you know what I mean? I was winning that shit, and it was just amazing. And like sprint against people, and then I went into football. I think most young lads thought they were going to be a professional footballer at some point in life, or rugby, one of the two. But I went into then I played county level there. Then I went to Derby County. I then played for them for a season and then got dropped because I wasn't tall enough.
Oh.
So yeah, but I was a goalkeeper, and years ago you probably know like it was all about how tall you are, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous because you could probably get them sued for that now.
Yeah. So
you could sue them for that because that's discrimination.
Well, yeah, height discrimination. Yeah, and in terms of that reality check, then when you obviously wanted to go and perform at your best with regards to the football, when you had that setback of not making it into Derby, where did you go from there? How did it affect you as a child?
To be honest, I didn't know until later on in life, but it did affect me a lot.
Yeah.
Because I literally went off the rails, if you want to say that, at that age off the rails anyway. What was I, like 15, 16? But yeah, I then started just going out around town drinking and doing that sort of life. It was, again, I wouldn't have known this at the time, but I know it now, I reflect and look back at it, but it was something where I guess, at the time, that's what I wanted to do, and because it got took away from me, I then went into the route of what everyone else did around my area. Like, I was brought up in an area that's quite, I'd say it's a rough area if you want to just put it like that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's, council estate sort of thing, Shelthorpe Road, Shelthorpe as in an area is rough. They're the type of people that you walk around the streets, and if you don't fight someone, you're going to get bullied. So, do you know what I mean? And it's shit when I look back, but that's sort of like the people that was around. So yeah, and I just didn't want to be beat up, so I used to beat people up. But it's not something to be proud of, and it's not even funny.
Yeah.
But the point is that mentality back then was actually, it was a dog eat. Do you know what I mean? It's mate, and it's mad when you think, because it's just kids' lives.
Oh,
It's just kiddie shit, but actually that's the first part of how I got brought up. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Which actually then set me on a track of thinking that that's how you had to be in life.
Yeah, and almost being on the defensive without really realising you were, I guess.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. But then it got me into a lot of trouble as well, because the guys around me, a lot of them used to do crime in different ways, and I wasn't into, I don't know, nicking cars or burning things, but then I used to fight a lot, and then I used to get a buzz out of fighting, and then, do you know what I mean? It was like a bit of a thing, and then I used to go around town and have fights, and it was that was part of me, which it just, if I look back, it's not something I'm ever proud of or really ever would want. I've got 2 kids. Do you know what I mean? I don't want them. If I ever seen them going through that, I'd be like, pull them away. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. In terms of that element, though, of the buzz that you got from fighting, I think when you look at it from a mindset point of view, and like what Paul, one of our mentors, speaks about, is that getting addicted to that feeling at a weekend. So it could be that you're addicted to the booze at the weekend, and then because of your environment, that means that your mates are a bit scrappy, so you end up in those scraps. And then on the flip side, it can mean that your mates actually like taking a couple of pills or getting on the bag at the weekend, and all three, like all in a pot, you know what I mean? And then you can quite quickly see how people do end up living for the weekend, because in the middle, the life is quite monotonous.
Yeah.
Like you say, a rough end of town, not too much going on other than, right, lads, let's go out and get fucked up this weekend. And unfortunately, in your case, it turned out to be like a violent way of doing it, but also in the same breath probably gave you quite a few life lessons.
Yeah, definitely did. I didn't realise, obviously, till you're older, you don't realise these things, but I'm a very extreme person. So then when it put that with me, I did that to the extreme as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's not something that I like to sort of think about too much, because there's a lot of things that I guess fucked up on early in life. But the flip side of that is it's made me who I am today.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
you know, it has its benefits.